Trade amongst our SADC states stands at just under a quarter of our combined total trade. And yet together, we have the means to produce all the goods and the services that we need. And together as a community, we have all the energy sources that we need. We have the land and the means to produce all the food that we need. Together we have the mineral resources we need. We have the technology and the know-how to turn these resources into manufactured goods that our people can use, but also goods that peoples in other parts of the world also can need. We have the financial institutions, the funding instruments and the markets to finance our industries and to build the infrastructure that we need. And yet, we look beyond our shores to supply our people. Our railways were built to run to the sea rather than to run to each other. They were designed to carry raw minerals to destinations that are far afield and to bring goods produced elsewhere in other parts of the world to our cities and to our towns. Now, this reliance on others rather than on each other is one of the most persistent constraints to the development of our region. And it is this reliance on others that must be brought to an end. And it must be brought to an end now rather than later. Now, this weakness is more pronounced at this moment of considerable turbulence in the global economy. Conflicts that take place far away from our region, in places where most of our people have never set foot and have never been, now have a profound effect on the daily lives of our people. Global shipping is disrupted. Many of our agricultural products cannot reach their markets. They rot in ships in the sea. Our farmers cannot get fertilizers so that they can produce food, so that we have food security. The cost of imported grain has risen. The cost of living is rising with the spikes in the oil price, and some countries are worried about shortages. The established rules of global trade offer less and less protection, threatening several industries across our region. Now, these global developments teach us that access to a distant market, however valuable, is a borrowed advantage. This access may be extended and it may be withdrawn. Decisions are often taken in capitals that are far away from where we are, where our businesses have no say and our workers have no vote at all. A regional market is a different one. A regional market is an advantage that we ourselves own. Others cannot take it away from us. The welfare of our people and the sovereignty of the security of our nations requires that we work with greater diligence and purpose to build an integrated Southern African market. When some leader somewhere decided to have what he called Liberation Day and started imposing tariffs on all other countries around the world, it immediately taught us here in South Africa that we now needed to start developing other markets rather than be dependent on one market. We decided that we are now going to look at alternative markets and strengthen our Southern African marketplace, strengthen our African marketplace, and rely on those because those belong to us. Because they must be a market in which the value and the benefits of trade are evenly shared, where we share together where none of us will wake up one day and say, I am imposing 75% tariffs on the goods that you produce because I don't like your policies of integration or equity. No. It must be a market where all of us continue to operate underpinned by policies of equity, of respect, of recognition of the standing of each of our countries. And in doing so, our task is not to reproduce the industrial models that are pursued on other continents or in other times. Our energy mix is different. Our demographic profile is also different. Our comparative advantage in the minerals of the energy transition is unlike anything possessed by previous rapidly developing economies. This region holds a substantial share of the world's critical mineral resources. Many of the minerals that are dependent upon for energy transition are to be found here. We are the owners of all these critical minerals that the planet needs. And the sooner we make them realize that, the better. The sooner they realize that SADC is really the home of all these critical minerals, ranging from rare earth to lithium to all these other minerals, the more they will stand up and recognize that SADC counts for a lot in the coming world economy. But these minerals continue to cross our borders in raw form, truth be told. We export the ore and we import the battery. We supply an industrial revolution that is taking place somewhere else, and we then purchase the products of that industrial revolution at a price that is set by others. We need to use our own resources to drive our own industrial revolution. This is the time for us as Africa, as SADC, to drive the real industrial revolution, because we have products that are needed for the future. Our ambition should not be to catch up with other countries. Our ambition should be to build a regional economy that is unique to our circumstances, but that is also unique to our times. To build such an economy, we must firstly complete what we have begun. We must eliminate non-tariff barriers to trade. Suppliers should no longer have to wait for months for a license. Goods should no longer have to be inspected on one side of the border and then again on the other side of the border. Standards should be harmonized. Standards should be transparent.